Step number one is we want to have a preventative plan. Now, what does the preventative plan look like? Your child's going to be on the phone, their smartphone, their device. Do you have time limitations? I remember talking with my wife about this, and we have a thing that shuts off the internet at a certain time after they've been on it for a certain period of time. So they have a certain hour, 2 hours a day, depending on the day, of time. If they want more time or need more time, then they actually need to come to my wife and ask for it. Now that's, some people say that's controlling. Yep, it's monitoring. Behavioral monitoring. That's our plan. We talk with our children openly, and the reason why we do that is because we want them to know that there are restrictions and there are guidelines. Number two, are there app limitations? Now, there are certain apps that my children just choose not to have, or we tell them and encourage them not to use. But as parents, we need to understand what apps are on our children's phones, and we need to plan accordingly. What are those apps? What are they capable of? What is it doing to our child? Now, Cal Newport, in his book Digital Minimalism, found that as adolescents and adults, as they looked at their likes, the number of likes on something they posted on Facebook, the more likely they were to be depressed. Now that's fascinating to me. Now, if we look at this from the context of mental health and well-being, we're going to consider the apps. And we might not say, hey, as you get older, you can begin to monitor and do some of these things yourself, but what if they recognize they don't need these things and they can communicate in what we would call traditional ways, picking up the phone and calling somebody rather than sending a text message, seeing a person or visiting a person and being with them rather than just sending them a message. These are the things that we're trying to encourage: relationships, not smartphone usage. Number three is a regular review. We want to regularly review what's happening on that phone with our children. So step number one, review, check out the apps, and have time management. That's how we prepare or have a preventative plan. Now, there are other things that you can do to have a preventative plan. And that is to have your child put their phone away at a certain time, only do it on certain days. For example, maybe it's a weekend where maybe Sundays are off, or certain evenings of the week, or at 10 o'clock, all smartphones are in one place. That way we don't have to worry about evening consumption, because I don't believe that we need to be consuming it all the time. Constant connectivity harms our mental health. These are the preventative factors that you need to put into place and have guidelines that you implement with your children in the beginning and throughout their time with the smartphone.